Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Probably not gonna catch up because we got a
We
shit
have
ton
no
to
time,
talk
Jens.
about.
We've already wasted too much time. There's
Okay,
so
I'm
much to
sorry.
talk
You
about this
go.
week. It's
Go, go,
literally
go.
ridiculous. Okay, starting us off this week, we're going straight into the news. Silent Hill 2 has supposedly been leaked, Jens. This is massive stuff. So, real
Damn.
quick, a store posting has been spotted on an Australian retailer, up the Aussie retailers, Guerrilla Gaming, and their listing has the expected release date posted as September 29th, 2023, which is just around the corner. That's not that far away.
Yeah.
The game was first announced way back in October of last year, and since then, Sony's given us absolutely nothing on it. So, like, no extra trailers, no new little tidbits, no, like, progressive updates, trailer, nothing. The remake is going to be obviously the original one from 2001 of Silent Hill 2, and it's going to be built entirely in Unreal Engine 5. So we can expect to see, obviously, some insane visual differences compared to the 2001 original. And it should also mean that it's not going to be as tough to sort of remake it, I guess,
hmm
because from what I've seen of Unreal Engine 5, it's crazy in terms of like its artificial intelligence. It's like how it can generate landscapes and visual areas and things without much artistic input.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of cool. So whether or not this is true, take it with a grain of salt, because usually a lot of these website sort of things, they have to have like a release date on there just to be able to
hmm
post it. So it could just be a placeholder. And it does also say that it's an expected release date. So more than likely it just being a placeholder, but it is still the first little bit of news, if anything, we've gotten regarding it. So kind of cool. Kind of
Hopefully
cool. I don't
cool.
know.
Hopefully.
Hopefully cool, because yeah, that is just around the corner. So if it is true, I would assume to see some new stuff from Sony and the Silent Hills team within the next couple of weeks or months or so.
I mean, they do have the
Depending it's
state of
released.
play
Yeah,
soon
that's true. See, that's what I mean.
at some
Like it's all
stage.
kind of coming together. So yeah, it's just around the corner. The other thing we're going to go into, not that much in terms of gross news for the week, other than like all of the releases for the showcases that we're going to go over, which is why we're rushing through this.
hmm
But the other thing, which is kind of big this week as well, is GTA Online fans are kind of mad at Rockstar, which is a little bit surprising. They're still feasting on new updates 10 years since the original game was released way back in 2013, which is crazy.
It is.
And yesterday, Rockstar updated GTA Online once again with a new free expansion for all players titled San Andreas Mercenaries. The new expansion obviously adds a couple of extra missions, adds some other assorted content like, new outfits and haircuts and things like that, and some quality of life improvements as well. So you now don't need to mash the X or A button to sprint, which is insane. It's taken them 10 years to figure that out. Don't need to do that anymore.
I do
Um,
like
I
that now.
I don't know what you have to do instead, but yeah, that's a massive. People have been asking that probably since 2014. Honestly, it's crazy. But with this expansion also came some pretty big caveats as well. The Rockstar were quite slim on when it was first announced. So back when it was sort of first announced, Rockstar did post on their social wire that they were indeed removing some of the vehicles from the online store, but they didn't specify exactly how many. And now you would assume when like they're going to say, oh, we're releasing, or we're taking away a couple of these vehicles, 15, 20 at
Yeah.
max, roughly. But Rockstar honestly might have entered the wrong number because they've taken out 189 vehicles in total, which is massive. Rockstar states that the vehicles that were removed were some of the quote lesser used ones, but based on a couple of the reactions from players online, it doesn't seem to be the case. There were some quite, fan friendly cars and vehicles and things in there that have been taken out. But what's really rubbed players the wrong way is that you can now access some of the vehicles that they took out through the $8 a month subscription service GTA
Uh,
Plus. What's also worse is GTA Plus is currently only available on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S devices and users, and it's not available for PC or last gen console players. So if you're still running a PS4 or even a PC, you still can't get these cars and things like that that's behind the subscription, which is kind of nutty. You would have thought for sure PC, one of the largest user bases in the world. And one of the big drivers probably for a lot of why GTA Online still gets a ton of players,
mm.
not getting access to that subscription service. I'm not mad because I'm not playing GTA anymore these days. It's not 2016. I think I gave it up back then or something. Like yeah. So, but it's a little bit weird that they've taken all these cars out and then just put them some behind a
A
paywall, some
paywall,
behind the
yeah.
casino thing, some but like it's a bit dodgy.
It's a bit
Um,
shitty, not gonna lie, especially because it's
yeah,
not new cars. It's cars that people had already had access, like items that they had access to, and then
yeah.
now it's like, actually, we're gonna take that back and we're gonna make you
Well,
pay for what
that's
if
the
you want.
thing is like, so like if I'd already bought one of these cars, I would still have it in my garage and I could still access it and whatnot. But like if I had told my mate that hadn't played it since
Oh,
2016 to
okay,
jump on and
sure.
play again, like I could drive around and he could drive in my vehicle, but if he wanted to purchase that, he wouldn't be able to. Like it's just gone, wiped from the store, wiped from every sort of face of the GTA Online scape, which
What
is
a
a
weird
little bit of a bummer.
thing to do out of
Yeah,
the blue. Like, I don't understand
surely
why.
surely the vehicles weren't taking up that much space that it was like, oh,
Yeah,
we need a reserve. So like, surely not.
I wonder what the reasoning is to that.
Yeah. And
Strange.
it's not like they'll replace it with anything just as cool. They're just
No,
taking it out.
exactly.
Like, but yeah, that's it for me. I'm now going to sit back because I have been very busy studying this week and I haven't had much time to catch up
Oh,
on
you have
all of
exams?
the showcase things. I've got an exam next Tuesday,
Ooh, okay.
so that's I've been relatively sort of focused on that. And I haven't had
Understandably.
much time to watch all of the showcase announcements. I've seen a little bit, I've heard a little bit, but I haven't actually seen anything. So Jens has
Okay.
seen a lot more than I have. So I'm going to sit back and let her do the driving. And I'm just going to kind of chime in every once in a while with a little bit of a funny tidbit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I got
But yeah.
you. Well, yes, it is the time to talk about the showcase. We had like, I think 4 directs so far.
Too many. Way too
Yeah.
many.
2 of them you probably didn't hear of because no one's talking about them because obviously Xbox has stolen the stage. And in the Xbox Game Showcase, the first game revealed was Fable, which I actually didn't realize it was Fable because it starred Richard Ayoade, IT crowd, and he was talking to
Yes.
the
Yeah.
camera and he was talking about like growing plants and vegetables and stuff. And I was like, oh, this might be really fun, like geeky
Yeah. Quirky
agricultural
little.
game. And then it just like he ended up it was revealed that it was for Fable. And like I don't know if he's actually going to be part of the game at all, if it was just for this moment, but it was a fun little
I mean, I would
trailer
assume
to
so,
have him in
right?
that. It'd be expensive, but yeah, it's so cool to see him in it.
Yeah.
He was perfect for it.
I've never played a Fable game, but
Same. I don't know what Fable is really.
I know kind of the premise, but I know that like having someone of Richard Ayoade is sort of comedic caliber in there is very fitting for the series because apparently
Mm.
Fable's quite like a humorous, quirky take on like medieval sort of settings and all that sort of stuff that revolves around it. So
Yeah, it was really nice to
it's a
see him.
fitting sort of actor to have in that universe if he is going to still go through it. But what's also cool is it's coming to Game Pass day one as well.
Yes, a
Which
lot
you'll
of these
see.
are coming day one.
I was going to say it's a very big recurring theme with a lot of these Xbox
Thank you,
announcements. Is
Xbox.
you'll see a lot coming to Game Pass day one. Yeah.
Next up, we saw our favorite Keanu Reeves talking about Cyberpunk 2077
Yeah, buddy.
DLC. So yes, they are making more Cyberpunks. It's at a great stage from what I hear. So they're adding more to the story, following Keanu Reeves' character as well as Idris Elba. I forget who Idris is playing, but anyways,
It's a brand new character that's like
oh,
coming up
okay.
just in this expansion or whatever it is. Like he wasn't in any of the previous
Oh, right.
like Cyberpunk main story or anything. He might have been mentioned or like in a lore bite or something that you could
Sure,
download at
because
some point. But
his
yeah,
name in the game is very familiar. But anyways,
yeah,
you get to pretty much explore like a new area of Night City, which
yes,
is
yeah,
Phantom Liberty's mission, or at least
yeah.
Phantom Liberty might be the area that it's called. But yeah, new area, new DLC, new content. So have that.
It's looking cool. It's looking
That's
cool.
coming on September 26th as well. So pretty soon.
Just around the corner.
I know. Avowed is coming in 2024. It's Obsidian's long-awaited fantasy RPG. And the first look, it's very fantasy, like all these caves and there's a lot of spells and all sorts of stuff. So I didn't take away a lot from this trailer. I'm curious on how it will be when it's out, which it will be on Game Pass, so you can test it out.
Sometime next year. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a couple
sometime
of
in
these.
2024.
A lot of the Xbox stuff did thankfully have like a hard release date. There were still a couple of things that were like, you know what, we're still waiting for this thing to brew in the background, and 2024 is looking more like it. So yeah.
But 2024 is like, at this stage, not that far.
Honestly, we're halfway through the year.
I know, it's crazy.
It's the middle of June. We're dead ass halfway in the middle of the year right now. Like it's
The next game to be showcased was a freaking cool trailer, and I highly recommend just everyone watching, listening, just go to the YouTube, look up this trailer, and just listen to the music. It is so good. But the developers of We Happy Few revealed its next project called South of Midnight, which is coming to Xbox Series X, S, Game Pass, and PC via the Steam store. So yeah, very exciting. The trailer pretty much is very cinematic of like this swampy lake with this skeleton dude playing the guitar, and this girl like appears out of nowhere and is trying to find a creature. And so no idea exactly what the gameplay style would be, but maybe hunting monsters or something. I don't know.
It seems like it's a bounty hunter monster type sort
kind
of
of feels that way, because she was asking
track a monster or you get that kind of vibe off it. The trailer doesn't show any gameplay, like Jen sort of said. It is just a very cinematic sort of
it's all
thing.
cinematic.
So like, and this one, there is no hard release date for it either. It was kind of just like there. They didn't even give a window for it, so it is probably still in very heavy development. But yeah, it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool. I like the art style that they're going for. Whether or not this is the art style, it's just a cinematic.
Yeah, I'm very curious
on that. Be part of the game or not is another question. But we'll just have to sort of, keep our eyes peeled on it and see. I would expect to hear more of it towards the end of the year, early next year.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we got Forza Motorsport, which is coming this October. I think Forza Motorsport's on their 8th one now.
It's something like this is Forza 7, I think. I mean, in comparison, they're probably at like 10 or 11 of them in total. Once you like include the Horizon games and things, but this is the 7th, like kind of release in the main Forza lineup, which is their more seriously sim racer compared to Horizon, which is more of the arcadey, just for fun racer type of thing. It's usually with Forza is what they use to like kind of benchmark their console, is what I've seen in the past, where it's like this is where a lot of the graphics sort of come out in a racing game. And it looks like that because the trailer just looks crazy. The reflections on cars, all the different effects and artifacts is
Who knew reflections could get better and better?
They can.
They love the reflections and puddles. Next up, see, when I watched this trailer, I was like, oh my god, they're doing it. Yeah. And then they revealed the title card. I was like, fuck no. But it basically is BioShock 4. It's basically BioShock. So I'm excited because it pretty much looks and feels exactly like BioShock Infinite in that same area. But this game that I'm talking about is Clockwork Revolution, a game coming from...
How do you say the developer? In Exiles?
Oh, In Exile?
Exiles? Yeah. I think it's In Exiles. I'm going to say it's In Exiles.
Sounds better.
That sounds cooler. I'm going to say it's In Exiles. Yeah.
They have promoted this game as coming in due time, which is a bit wanky, but okay. It's fitting. Look, it's fitting to the trailer.
That's true.
But yeah,
I get it. Clockwork.
Due
time. I get it. You're right.
But yeah, it's pretty much what you can expect from a BioShock game that is pretty much spot on in this game. So no idea when it's going to come out, but it will be on Game Pass day one.
Yeah. Make sure your Game Pass subscriptions are up to date, basically.
Yeah. Thunder Lotus is a game that was announced by the studio behind Spiritfarer, which is a very beautiful game. And it's a raid-focused action game called 33 Immortals. So this game is a top-down action game which maintains the gorgeous hand-drawn visuals of Spiritfarer, and the game supports up to 33 players at once. And that's coming
fucking
to
nutty.
Game Pass sometime next year. Yeah, 33 players at once for a raid-focused game.
Yeah, in a top-down raid-focused like
hand-drawn.
Like all the trailers that we've sort of talked about, I'm gonna have them quickly behind us or whatever it is. But like, just watch the trailer for this, and when there's 33 players on screen at once and they're all pulling off like an ability. Good luck if someone's using a slightly older graphics card or something on a PC, because it's gonna struggle
It's gonna
with
fry.
trying to render out all of these fucking little things. It's insane. Like 4 players, cool, I kind of get it. 8 players, now we're pushing it. 33 players, that's
what a peculiar number as well. But...
yeah. Do you reckon they were like, okay, we kind of want the game to be 33 Immortals. That's a cool name, you know? Like, I like that. And then they would just quickly spot. I'm like, fuck, let's make it 33 players all at once. You know?
I wonder. Maybe they were like trying to figure out the sweet spot of how many players can be there without it. But like 34 was just a bit too much.
Even numbers? Nah, I don't like even numbers. But 33, mate. Yeah.
Anyways, next game, which looks freaking sick. Watch this trailer.
I can't wait for this. Yeah.
I've never played... No.
Oh.
I've never played a Payday. I understand the concept of a Payday game, which is pretty much a heist situation. But I've never played one. And this trailer, holy moly, you have to watch it. It is so cool and it's so well put together. It makes you want to go and rob
a bank right after it,
well,
right?
Look, let's not encourage people to do that, but I want to go laser tagging in a Payday map. Like, it looks fucking sick. Anyways, Payday 3 is coming, and we do have a release date, which is September 21st. It'll be on Game Pass and Xbox Series X/S.
Yeah, I can't wait for this.
Very cool.
I can't wait for this. I've played a shit ton of Payday 2 back in the day.
Okay.
That was like...
It's just a heist game, right?
Yeah. There's nothing like crazy to it, but it's a 4-player co-op heist game where you just like, there's different banks you can go and steal from. There's all these different DLC maps you can get, and the mask customization is pretty cool. So like that mask that you see in the trailer is the classic sort of Payday mask, but you create your own and things like that, because you get different sprays and stamps and things throughout all the different heists that you do. But it's cool because it gives you the option to play out the heist how you see fit, and you can do them multiple different ways. It's very similar to the Hitman, where it's like you can assassinate the same person several times over, but you can do it 7 different ways. Where it's like you can rob the same bank 7 times, but you can do it several different ways.
Yeah.
They're very fun games. It's very much like Left 4 Dead vibes, where it's, you know, just you and 3 other mates just going at it, having a ball.
Then running away from the cops.
It's not super hardcore. And then running away from the cops, exactly.
I'm so down for this.
For those that are listening and haven't yet played it, Payday 2 is currently free on Epic Games.
Oh,
so
fun.
If you do want to have a little taste before Payday 3 hits Game Pass, and then all the other consoles and things, on September 21st, just grab it for free on Epic and then give it a whirl, because, it's great.
Yeah, very excited. Next up, we have a very cool collab, which makes a whole lot of sense. Sea of Thieves is collabing with Monkey Island, and it is gonna be great. I've not played Monkey Island, but I know from the ideas of Monkey Island, it's about time. And the art when the main guy is revealed, it's just so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious how far they'll take the story though with this DLC.
I mean, Rare, they've done this before, just previously with the Pirates of the Caribbean DLC, which was fun. That was exceptional.
Yeah, I heard it was fun.
I absolutely loved it. But it's usually like a mini story sort of created with 4 to 5 missions, typically, like sort of submissions within it, and then that's about it. So I would very much assume that it's going to be the same with this Monkey Island sort of crossover, that it is just going to be a very sweet, short little snippet, that it's, got a couple of missions that it's based off. But it should be fun because obviously Monkey Island was a point and click sort of puzzle game back in the 90s. Sea of Thieves isn't a point and click puzzle game, but it does have puzzles within it. So you
That's
can
true.
very well assume that some of the puzzles that are going to be within this crossover are very reminiscent of some of the ones you would have done in the Monkey Island games, or very heavily inspired by them or whatnot.
Yeah, it'd be
But
cool if there was like
I
a
can't wait
thing
play
you have
this.
to solve, or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, you usually do. Like, I know in the Pirates of the Caribbean one, among just the normal quests in Sea of Thieves, like once you get to an island, like you've got to solve a riddle, you've got to try and
Mm,
backtrack the steps of a previous pirate or explorer or something to try and uncover the loot and things. So it'll probably be the same thing with this. But something I did also tack onto this, which is kind of a little bit sad, but also a little bit weird. Ron Gilbert, who was the original creator of Monkey Island, did say and sort of, post that he was unaware that Rare and Lucasfilms were collaborating on DLC for Sea of Thieves that used characters from the franchise that he kind of originally created and things like that. But then in another weird turn of events, he came back later just to post on Matador as well. He's not on Twitter anymore, but he posted on Matador, and I quote, "Just to clarify, the Sea of Thieves thing, since some press are making assumptions, I was given a heads up before the announcement, but wasn't given an opportunity to be meaningfully involved. I do wish the game well, and I love Monkey Island." So it's a little bit weird that he first came out and said that
yeah,
he wasn't involved in it and didn't have anything to do with it and didn't know about it, but then came back and was like, well, actually, I did kind of know about it, but I didn't have anything to do with it still.
yeah. The
I
wording there
assume,
is not good.
yeah, it was kind of a bit weird. I assume that when he was told about it, it was like a couple of months out from announcement or a couple of weeks out from announcement, like, hey, just a heads up, we're making this kind of thing. It's all done and dusted. We were announcing on this date and this date. So we still didn't have any way to, like, have any work done in it. But yeah, a little bit sad, a little bit weird, a little bit quirky. But it's still cool to see that they're doing, Monkey Island things and Sea of Thieves things, because Sea of Thieves is still kind of thriving, honestly.
Yeah, people love that game,
It's got a
so
very
it's
dedicated fan base. Yeah,
great to see that. I'm sure they'll do Monkey Island justice. It sucks that
very much so. Yeah.
he wasn't involved, but yeah, they're in good hands. Next, we got a very cool showcase from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I don't know if it's going to be a new game or if it's going to be like a expansion type thing.
Like an add-on to the original. Yeah, I think it would be an add-on to the original.
Feels like it should be.
There's no way that they would just
bring out another
make
one.
you download a whole new game again with like the same maps and things like that. But
Yeah.
just with the 2024 like date on it,
Yeah, exactly.
Bit strange, but still.
I'm assuming it's just going to be like a content add-on, but basically you get to do a lot more in this, and it's so cool because like you can do fire rescue, mountain rescue, you can cargo transport stuff. It's just like you can do anything that involves a plane, you can get to do
content to it.
It's so cool because like
it's cool because we have played this before, and I am gonna say keep your eyes and ears peeled on our socials because we will definitely be doing another playthrough of Flight Sim 2024.
I was gonna say we should need to jump back on.
It was a classic of one of ours. I absolutely loved it. That was crazy. We
did
like a 7-hour flight.
It was so good.
Melbourne to Japan. We sat on street for 7 hours just chatting shit about I don't know what, like just flying this plane across. But now we actually got to do things as well. Like previously it was basically just unless you like, it was like you downloaded Google Earth and then just like flew around it and landed. Obviously, you actually flew the plane and whatnot, but now you got to do things, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Like, you can be an ambulance, first responder. You can transport a whole plane across the world. Just so many things. It is so cool. So very excited for this. But also, Flight Simulator is getting a Dune crossover, which brings the iconic Thopter.
Yep. Don't worry. I thought it was a misprint too.
To Flight Sim on November 3rd. And you know what? Those Thopters are very cool. They look like dragonflies.
All you Dune fairs. It basically looks like a dragonfly. It also looks like they're adding a Dune type environment to...
I wonder what you would do. Just fly?
I mean, you just go to any desert where there's a bunch of sand, right? Like, it's
Maybe a little
pretty much
sandworm.
June.
Just gives a...
Sorry, June spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen the movie. It's
Oh,
set in
fuck.
the desert, like, yeah.
Shit, I'm gonna get cancelled.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
very exciting. No specific date on when the new Flight Sim 2024 is coming, but it'll be sometime in 2024.
Yeah.
Oh, now Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
Finally, we got some news about this. Not exactly
Bro,
the news that I wanted.
They've been fucking blue balling gens for years.
I
with
know.
this game, I tell you.
And they kept blue balling me. They didn't even show like proper gameplay. They just
No.
showed this like
Bro,
cinematic.
you're not getting gameplay until you load this shit on your Xbox when it comes
I'm
out.
upset.
Which you don't even know when it comes out.
I know. It's next year. Who knows when? But yeah, that is all they'll give us. Sometime next year. It'll be on Xbox Series X, S, and PC. Not sure if it's going to be on Game Pass day one. I don't know about that, but
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, they showed like just a little bit of, I don't know. It was a very trippy trailer.
It was on the new trailer, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much a cinematic, maybe in-game visuals, but yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
And I just need more. I just need it now.
Nah, next year. Sorry.
Oh fuck. Oh, and this was a very big surprise to me. But City Skylines 2 is gonna come out to Game Pass this fall. October 24th is the release date.
Yeah.
How fun! I loved this.
This I'm definitely going to be playing on day one or sometime very closely around day one because I love the first City Skyline. It's tough for those that like have played, Sim City or some other kind of Sim City type game before. I arguably would say that City Skyline is the hardest one out of all of them because there's a lot to manage. Obviously, it's a management game, so if you're playing it, you kind of go in expecting that, but there's a lot to manage. But it looks like what's exciting about this one is it looks like it's going to obviously expand on the first and add in a couple of the features that were previously only done via mods through like the modding community. So the base game should be a lot better off from day one than what the initial base game was from day one. Which is what's going to be exciting. So it's just going to have a little bit more polish, hopefully some more things are a little bit more automated and things like that. Or you can set up automations. One thing that was very sort of big with the first one was the road designs, and you basically, to get decent roads, had to mod the game. They look like to have fixed it with City Skyline 2 and a couple of other small things, like you can sub-zone within other zones and get real nerdy with it, basically, for lack of a better term. But yeah, it looks cool, so I'll be checking it out October 24th.
Yeah, I just remember it was so hard to like, you really wanted to make such a neat city,
bro,
and
that's my
then just
biggest fucking
shit.
Yeah. Yep.
It was like, nope, fuck you. You
Yep.
got to do something here because you couldn't put like, I don't know, electricity or water or some shit like
actual city planners, I understand. And I thank you for your service because it's not an easy
Yeah,
job.
we've also been through it, so we know how tough your job is. Did you watch the Ubi ones? Oh wait, so yes, that's all the Xbox ones except of course the Starfield Direct, which watch it.
Starfield was in the Xbox Direct, but it was basically just a trailer for the Starfield Direct.
Pretty
it wasn't
much.
even like anything too crazy. So they just had a bunch of like, establishing shots of the character and some planets and some ships and
all
shit
I'll
like that.
say is just go watch the whole Direct. It's all about Starfield. They go so in depth with everything that they are going to bring in Starfield, and it's just such a hype Direct of like, god damn, this game looks insane. And then they did a little talk about the collector's edition that comes with a freaking watch.
$600 by the way, bro.
$500.
It's fucking expensive.
It's expensive. But I mean, look, it has a working watch, okay? A working smartwatch, so it's practical.
How far does it watch though? Does it just tell the time? What does it do?
You can go to space, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I really just want to see some. Yeah, I need to know what it does because I don't want to spend $500.
I know it connects to your phone, and that's
all I
about
know.
it. So I'm assuming it's a very basic smartwatch where it's like it's got a pedometer in it. It's got like
You never know. It might have
tell
something
the weather on it.
amazing.
Like I'll
Anyways,
stick with my Galaxy Watch, I think. Yeah.
very cool collector's edition, and they've got a sick controller.
Yes, transparent things in that as well, which is kind of fun. I'm loving the resurgence of transparent.
I know, bring the
peripherals and
90s,
things.
2000s.
I miss
items.
my
God.
transparent purple Nintendo 64 controller. That thing was a beast. But yeah, so the triggers on this Xbox controller are fully transparent, and then there's also a headset with a microphone attached to it. Just the microphone's transparent. They could have probably gone a little bit further with the headset, I feel, but still cool nonetheless. And it looks pretty clean as well. Like, it's not a very gaudy controller and stuff like that. It's a very nice, like,
It's very
cream
neat,
with
clean,
some, like, mustard
very
and
surgical
maroon colors on it. Like,
yeah,
it looks
so
cool.
good.
It looks clean. Looks very spacey.
I need it.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
That was
recommend.
the Xbox event, basically. That was the Xbox event. We've been recording for 30 minutes, Jens.
All right.
So, but we're making good time. We're making good time. But on to Ubi, yeah.
Have you seen the Ubi?
Not much, no.
Okay.
Honestly, actually, I don't think I've seen any of the Ubi stuff. I've heard the announcements again, and most of the big ones, like, we'll
Avatar.
get to at the end of it, basically. But yeah, Avatar and whatnot.
All right.
Not much was a surprise when I was writing this up.
No. Pretty much with the Ubi Direct, Ubi Forward, there was nothing new or nothing like that exciting.
That I'm salivating over.
Yeah, except for maybe
yeah.
Outlaws, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
First we see Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown gameplay, which looks cool. I think Prince of Persia was my first ever game. Like when I was
honestly, I would say that it was one of mine. I don't think it was my first game, but it was one of the first games that I played.
Yeah, I just remember the music, and I was shit scared of it.
Yeah.
It was a scary game.
It's a very cool little franchise, and I'm glad that they're bringing it back with a little bit more of the 2024 polish.
Yeah, 3D and everything.
Yeah. So it's cool.
Yeah, so we pretty much saw a lot of what the gameplay action will be, which is, fast-paced sword combat with plenty of flashy finishing moves on tougher enemies. There's also time powers, which you will use against the enemies, so very interesting. And Prince of Persia will be launching on January 18th, 2024 on all platforms. Very nice. Next, we've got the Crew Motorfest, which is coming this September. I don't know.
Ubisoft's big hitter.
Yeah.
Big one.
Look, I feel like there are other better car games, but they're trying. It's the third installment of the Crew franchise, surprisingly, but it's the first to see the series leave the continental US, which is exciting. So the Crew is coming to Hawaii, which Forza Horizon has already done it.
Still a US state, might I add. They've left the continental US, but they're still in the US. What's also funny is they've had planes in the Crew since the Crew came out, only just figured out that they can go to other islands and things in them.
And they didn't even go that far.
Yeah, they didn't even go that far yet. No, I love ripping on the Crew because it is kind of the dorky brother of all the racing games that are out at the moment. I still feel that Forza Horizon is peak arcade, very closely followed by some of the latest Need for Speed games, and then probably a couple in the middle, and then the Crew somewhere down the bottom. I played the first two ever so slightly, and I don't know what it is, but just the way that the cars feel just doesn't feel right.
All I remember,
it's just a lot more polish with the other ones,
Yeah, it's hard. It's like when you play a Souls-like game and you're always comparing it to Souls. It's just like this is, or like a shooter and you're comparing it to COD. It's just like this is not what it's meant to feel like.
It must be hard. I know it's hard to enter a market like this, but like when you're going for a specific genre of game and there's already games in that genre that do it so well, it just makes the bar to reach so much higher.
Yeah.
Which obviously is somewhat of an unfortunate thing because it is, in some cases, it's like an unobtainable kind of feat because exactly like you said, that's probably the most popular example of it is the Soulsborne type of games. So many companies have tried to come out and emulate it and they just can't get that finesse on it you know, which is where those Souls developers do so well. And it's the same with a lot of these racing games. Is there's just some studios out there that just do racing games and they just do them perfectly. And it's hard to compete. So
Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be fun.
yeah.
But yeah, in addition to cars, players can expect to control bikes, boats, and aircrafts as well. So that's kind of cool.
It's the one thing that the crew has on the others that is
yeah,
like
it's a variety
main
of
sort
stuff.
of standout thing, which is you can do a little bit of everything. So
Yeah,
cool.
it's always nice. X-Defiant, remember X-Defiant? Call of Ubies. That's pretty much coming out the end of this year, I believe.
Yes.
Summer sometime for America.
Yeah.
So, which is quite exciting. I actually didn't realize it was coming that quickly. But if you have yet to play X-Defiant, because I think it was a closed beta when everyone was playing.
It was a closed beta, but it was also
it was
a
like
relatively
an easy
closed beta to get into. Yeah.
But basically, it's gonna be free to play for everyone on
do a full open
all
beta.
the platforms. On June 21st to 23rd. So it's a very short beta, but it's just to stress test the servers.
The last one was quite short as well.
The
wasn't
last
it?
one was quite short. I think it was like 2 weekends or something.
Yeah, it was only a couple of days, but it was just for those weekends as well. Like they opened it on the Friday night and then closed it on Monday morning and then did the same thing again.
Yeah,
so it was fun.
But it was fun. Like it has such a cool idea because it's pretty much a mashup of all the UB franchises
all the
in
UBs,
a shooter. Because you pretty much can play from like DedSec and like different operators from different games,
factions within the Ubisoft like universe, basically.
Yeah,
the Ubiverse. Oh my god, coining that.
Cinematic Ubiverse. But yeah. I genuinely had a lot of fun when I was playing the beta, and I would highly recommend if you ever have a free weekend between June 21st to 23rd, just check it out. And the exciting thing is they're going to be adding a map every month, one new map every month when they release.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean they have a lot to choose from their universe.
That's true. They've got a lot of a library to pick from, but it's one of the things that I think a lot of these like games suffer with, especially these first-person shooter games right at the start, is that people get in there and there's 6 maps. And then you very, very quickly go through those 6 maps.
Exactly.
And then you get stagnant with it. And so you put it down for 2 months until the next expansion comes out where there's another 3 new maps that got added, and it's great. And then you play that, and then you very quickly go through those 3 new maps and you get stagnant. You just rinse and repeat. So drip feeding the maps like this is probably a smart way of doing it, because it just means that they're going to be able to retain players for a little bit longer in between those stagnation periods. I would assume.
Absolutely.
Pending
and
that people actually enjoy the game when it comes out, you know?
I hope it does well. I mean, they've tried to do a shooter last time and that did not go well. So we'll see. But when it is launched, there will be 14 maps, 5 factions, 5 modes, and 24 weapons, which is like a decent pool.
That's
and
then
Ubi will then add 4 more factions, 12 new weapons, and 12 new maps in the first year. So they at least they have like a already dedicated flow of content.
It's cool they've already got like a, what do they call them? Like a map thing already planned out. What do they call it? Yeah, I don't know. The timeline planned out. That's what.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is going to be a free-to-play thing as well, like Jen's kind of said. So it's, you kind of got nothing to lose, just to test it out and see if you enjoyed it. If you don't,
just a few gigs.
It's free. Yeah.
Oh, Skull and Bones. Remember this?
Sorry, what game?
Oh, Ubi, you know, you might have heard of this, but Ubi is making a pirate game. And the closed beta is coming between August 25th and August 28th. So if you want to finally check out this game that apparently does exist, head on over to the website and register to join in on that closed beta, which might be a nice idea just to see what it's like, because no one knows. Just sign up.
Am I going to be playing Monkey Island at that time, Jen?
Oh, actually,
will I be
Monkey Island's kind of fun.
In honestly, probably the arguably better pirate game. Like,
for now, maybe.
I'm probably going to say it. See if these are still going to be better. I'll say it.
Look, I might agree, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I might put my email in for the pool and see if I can get a code for it.
Yeah.
Because it does intrigue me, but not as much as Sea of Thieves now.
Ubi's Assassin's Creed Mirage was shown off, of course. Everyone's very excited for this, but direct combat is a backup solution to this game, which is very interesting. So I think it's just going to be pretty much a lot of stealth back to its roots in a way for Assassin's Creed. Which is fun because I know that was like the thing about Assassin's Creed that a lot of people loved and enjoyed. So it'd be nice for them to like follow suit and go back and bring, the classics, the hits.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gameplay focused on the concept that there's always a discreet way to take out your enemies, whether that's through Basman's hidden blade, blow darts, or smoke bombs. The game takes place in the 19th century Baghdad and will follow Basim in a tragic coming-of-age story. And this game will launch October 12th, which is pretty soon.
Right around the corner, yeah. I'm actually excited for this Assassin's Creed one.
I think a lot of people are for this.
Changes that they're making to the raw gameplay of it and things.
Yeah.
Because, I just got a bit sick of having to level up all my armor and weapons and things. Like, I wasn't trying to play an RPG. I was trying to play a stealth assassin game. So it's cool that they're going back to the roots and, doing making
doing
it what
less,
the fans initially wanted out of the game. Yeah,
I
less
felt like
more. Less
yeah, exactly. I feel like they always tried to do so much. There was a huge map and like so many quests and shit. Just like no, it's too much.
Like in the more recent ones, they like Far Cried it a lot, where it was like there was just like as soon as you open the map, it was 65 different points in one little region area, and I was like, oh, I've got to go at this tower, I've got to skin 25 animals over here, I've got to like collect all these flowers. Like,
I think they just
assassinate people.
They really just wanted to do so much. Anyways, so we'll see if Mirage will revitalize the franchise and rekindle the love for Assassin's Creed. We'll see. But also, very cool, we're gonna get a VR Assassins. How sick!
I don't know about this.
Look,
if you get motion sick playing Sea of Thieves,
I'm not gonna play
fall
this.
Out the window with this, bro.
I'm not gonna play this. But as an idea, this is cool. In theory, this is cool. I don't know how it's gonna be, but Assassin's Creed Nexus was featured, and you pretty much get to be an assassin in VR. And it'll feature a 3-pronged story starring a trio of returning characters: Assassin's Creed 2's Ezio, Odyssey's Cassandra, and AC3's Connor. I like that they've split it into 3 rather than just one and kind of get bored with it, but like at least you can kind of
the cool thing as well is each of those 3 assassins take place in very different regions.
Yeah, different
so
regions.
It's like you get to experience different areas, different regions, different time periods, things like that as well. So it's that'll be cool because like I started out with the earlier ones where they were very like Spanish influenced and things. So like Ezio Auditore was like my main sort of assassin back then, and all of the other brothers and things around there as well. So it's I'll probably pick this up because what's interesting as well, Jens, is this is only coming to the MetaQuest 2.
Yes.
Which I was very surprised when I watched the trailer for this and the opening bit wasn't a Ubisoft logo, but it was the Meta logo instead. And I was like, whoa, okay. I would have very much thought that they would have been like, okay, we're going to mass market this, put it on every platform we possibly can, and anyone with a VR headset that's powerful enough can play it. But no, they've just gone straight for the MetaQuest 2, and I'm assuming that also means that it's just going to be available through the MetaQuest store and not on things like Steam or like the Ubisoft launcher and things as well, which is very interesting.
I wonder if they just have like their own dedicated like Unity that only can be run through a MetaQuest headset, and that's why they don't want or MetaQuest was just like, no, we're going to give you all the money. You cannot sell it to anyone else, which might be the thing. Which I don't know if that was the right move, honestly, because I don't know how well this is going to be. Just with VR as is, VR is so like it really messes your head, and it's so hit or miss that I feel like, is there going to be a thrilling story, or will it feel satisfying, or like will it feel clunky trying to like assassinate people? Because in like Assassin's Creed, it's just there's so much parkour and like stealth shit
You're
that
gonna
where
need a
you're
lot of space
moving.
for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know how they're gonna do it. If you're gonna teleport like in the game, that's just not the right feel. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Very, very, very curious to see how this actually plays and feels. I can't wait to see the reviews. We have no idea when this will be out. There's no release date.
Yeah.
But yeah, very.
It was
very
like a whole
curious.
CG trailer of like.
Yeah, this guy. It was such an ad. It was
swinging his
such an
sword.
ad.
Like, it was very much so.
But yeah, interesting. Also, what's interesting, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is getting a release date, which is December 7th, 2023. So it's gonna be this year, which is kind of cool.
There's a bunch coming out this year. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a first-person action-adventure game where players control a Na'vi trained by the RDA to fight against her own people, but the Na'vi eventually reconnects with her heritage, and you get to learn Na'vi weapons and skills and pretty much fight back. So, you know, the first story, pretty much. Yeah. And so we got a new trailer and gameplay breakdown, and it's pretty much... like everyone's calling it's gonna be Far Cry but Pandora. I
can tell you now it's gonna be. I can tell you now it's gonna be.
Okay. I've not played a lot of Far Cry, so I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. I heard it's a good thing.
So, look, the Far Cry games play great. They're fine games, but it's just every time, like as soon as you've played one Far Cry game, you've played them all.
Yeah,
you've played them all. And this is the thing that plagues a lot of Ubisoft games, is that when they get these big IPs, which is what I'm worried about with the next thing we're going to talk about, which is Star Wars.
Yes.
But it's what worries me when they get a hold of these giant IPs is that they don't typically try anything groundbreaking, anything new, and they base a lot of the gameplay off previous Ubisoft games. So Avatar, and
like
you can see it in the trailer. Basically, you can see it in the trailer when you're running around on the ground of Pandora and sort of, you know, in the bushes and, you know, shooting and jumping and things. It looks very Far Cry. Very, very Far Cry. I feel like I've seen the gameplay before. You get that kind of like weird perceptive. Have I done this before? Have I seen this? Is this an ultra like you get that weird
deja vu?
Yeah, kind of like that. And so that's what worries me about it. I'm also not the biggest Avatar fan, so I'm probably like,
have you seen
that's one of the things
Way of Water?
I haven't. No, I know it's on Disney Plus, but I just it's also quite a long movie. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours. I can't remember.
So yeah, I've got to. That's why I haven't watched it. I got a lot of time to sit down and like fully process it. But I enjoyed the first movie. It was great, like when it came out, for all of its like advancements in 3D technology and animation and things and CGI and all that sort of stuff. And I know that the second one did very much the same as well, where it was just a big feast for the eyes and the ears. But I'm not out there like every Halloween painting myself blue, dressing up as a Na'vi, you know.
You're
and
not.
so it's the same when they announced the game. I was like, okay, cool, but I'm not putting a pre-order down for it, you know?
No.
So
it looks great from the trailer. It looks great.
It looks smooth. It looks fleshed out. It looks, you know, the gameplay looks fun. It looks Far Cry, but it looks fun, you know.
And I don't know if James Cameron has had any input. It feels like he has, because he was shown during the showcase talking about the game.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised, but
you would assume so. Yeah.
Like, and for the second one, I would highly recommend, if you do ever have the time, just to even skim it, because like the story is pretty much, you know, nothing crazy. It's all what you expect it to be.
Yeah.
But the visuals and the graphics that they have managed to conquer throughout Avatar is incredible, and that alone is like Avatar, the only reason.
I think I'd honestly be more interested in watching the behind-the-scenes documentary of how they made the movie as opposed to the actual movie.
That's what we did after we watched it. But yeah, anyways,
I feel like that part would excite me more. Like,
who knows
big,
how
like,
this game
100-foot water tubs and like all the underwater cameras and things. Like, that's the stuff I want to see.
Yeah, and they didn't have a lot of that on the internet. It was annoying. But yeah, I think some people might be excited for this. I don't know. It's cool, but I just don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
But December 7th, 2023. All right, last one. We have Star Wars Outlaws, which just from looking at it, looks incredible. They showcased quite a lot of this game through
10 minutes.
Yeah, through a gameplay
10
sequence,
minutes.
but also just like a cinematic and like just talking about it. But Ubisoft pretty much showed us a lot of gameplay, and it's calling it the first open world Star Wars game, which is kind of cool. Gameplay pretty much showed off combat, including how adorable the companion Nyx is, which is pretty much the only reason I'll be playing this game is for Nyx.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
And maybe the droid that she talks to in the cinematic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You see Kay riding a speeder after she tries to like run away from people. I don't know what their names are. Jacob would be so mad at me. But yeah, look, it was a smooth gameplay of like transitioning from going to stealth, getting busted, shooting, and then jumping and running away on this speeder, and it's just so cool. Like it's just all the Jacobs out there are crying right now.
Yeah.
It's just really cool and really well polished looking. I hope it feels full in like, and the storytelling is good. You know, it's worrying because Ubi's not the best at storytelling, in my opinion, or at least the games I've tried. I feel like they just don't go above and beyond like some other games. I'm surprised they didn't go to EA, you know, but
I mean, EA's working on, like, Respawn's been working on the other Star Wars Survivor and Jedi Survivor games and things, so like it's cool that they're diversifying, and you do get some different perspectives from the Star Wars universe and things. And again, it being a Ubisoft game just fills me with that kind of weird stomach feeling where I'm like, have I played this game 10 times before already? Is it gonna be, very similar to the other? Because I've seen people as well linking it. The gameplay looks kind of similar in some ways to Watch Dogs and kind of some of the same elements in there. And I'm like, see, I've played 2 of the Watch Dogs games. Like, do I want to play a third, And like, yeah, cool, it's got a Star Wars skin over it, but like...
It's got a cute pet. Look, I think a lot of people...
I'm still going to pick it up. Like, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and it's one of the things that it's like, if you don't know it, you're not, like, until you try it type of a thing. So
yeah,
I'll give it a whirl.
Who knows? They might break the mold and make an incredible game.
That's it. It's, you don't know until you try it type of a thing. So, and I mean, the gameplay sequence does look cool. I will give them that. Like, that whole 10 minutes was kind of diverse. It's cool that you can just go straight from the Earth planets or the ground floor level planets to space and just start. I'm a bit worried about
space combat, but
yeah.
I'm not great at that, so
not the best at that. No.
But yeah, very, very interesting, and I don't know. It felt like so out of left field. I had not heard of them doing a Star Wars thing until this franchise. The showcase. So.
Yeah. So I think this was like, I think they revealed it at D23 that Ubisoft and Massive were working on a Star Wars game, but we didn't know exactly what it was. Gotcha. We didn't know like how far along it was when it was coming out and things like that. Because I think at that D23 they were like, but we'll hear more about it from Ubisoft themselves at some point next year or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like when they're ready to showcase it, then we'll showcase it. So like we have known that it is somewhat coming. We just didn't know, like I said, exactly what it was gonna kind of look like or play like and anything. But excited, but tentatively excited.
Yeah. We'll wait. Yeah. We also I don't believe we have a date anyway.
No, there's no date for it, but it is, I think, sometime next year, I would assume. If you've got gameplay that's looking like that already, it does look like it's relatively polished. And it could only be the one section that they've kind of focused on, but I would expect sometime next year. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the 2 out of the 4 directs. There was also Capcom and PC Gamer, which were very forgettable.
I think this morning was the cute, cozy
Oh,
one or whatever you call it.
shoot. I gotta watch that one. I
Yeah, the
apparently
Cozy Games one.
Devolver had theirs. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Devolver's had like it's and these as well. I will say when I was doing the write up for this, condensed it already.
Yes.
You know, like I condensed it even more. There's some things that we have skipped over. There's a bunch that we've skipped over, obviously.
There is heaps.
There's a ton of stuff. I feel like every time I jump on Twitter or something, there's a brand new thing that I haven't seen. And then I find out that it was announced 4 days ago because there's just been that much stuff that you've missed it within 4 days. So there's a bunch coming out. And there still is, I think for the next couple of days, I think there's still some more smaller
There's more, yeah.
presentations and directs that are going on.
It's crazy.
So
there's just too much.
Insane.
Just too much at one go.
Yeah, it's honestly sensory brain overload at this stage.
Truly. But I will be watching the Devolver Direct and the Wholesome one right after this because I love both of them.
Yeah. No, that'll be good too.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be as long anyways.
No, they're usually like a cute 30 minutes tops, if
oh my
that.
God, there's so many games from the Wholesome.
The Wholesome one, I feel like, is just going to be bang, 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 bang. Like, just cute game, cute game, cute game, cute game. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're all so cute. Anyways. Hey, we did go over an hour.
We did pretty good. We busted through that. Yeah.
We're right
in time. Yes, you got to drink a big jug of water after this because, that's a lot of talking in a very short amount of time.
But yeah, we'll talk more about games next week.
Yes, I'm sure, like I said, I'm going to come across things that we've missed, big things that we've skipped and things, and we'll put that in next week's stuff. So make sure you like and subscribe and get ready for that.
Yes.
And put that little bell on so you get notified when we post things, because there should also be some gameplay stuff coming soon, I think, as well. And we're also planning other gameplay things past this stuff. There's a bunch that's coming out, and that we've got a whole game list of things to try and play and test out and stuff like that. Some of it happens on stream, some of it happens on YouTube. You just got to be there and be square,
Exactly.
But all right, gents, is there anything else you want to add on before we wrap up for the week?
No.
No, nothing from me either. So as always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we will see you all next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.